Hey there, everybody. I hope you guys had an awesome Christmas and have a great start to your new year going on for you. So I'm outside just digging up some roots, cleaning them up and shipping some stuff off, and I thought I'd make a little video for you guys. These are all very wet, mud-loving, water-loving, marshy type plants that can pretty much grow in anything that holds water and some manure compost. Super easy to grow, super productive with no care, and they taste great. What more can you ask for, right? So let's start with these right here. These are a little on the small side because I'll tell you right now, in fact, ducks do eat these. These are the wild native little treasures. Another one, duck potatoes. And yes, ducks do actually eat them. I know because my ducks got out and ate them all this year. Yeah. These normally get about the size of a large, extra large egg, but these are just regrowing. I was really worried I'd lost them after the ducks got into them. And they're a nice corm. They grow from a rhizome there. And there's a little corm. They get good size to them. Really nice flavor. Kind of like a slightly watery potato. They've got that starchiness to it. They roast up really nice. Get a little creamy if you add some butter or something to them. Super delicious. And they are native. You can find them pretty much all over the South. And they've been spread everywhere by people. But most people have never seen them. One, because they're always looking at the plants at the wrong time. These are just like the water chestnuts, produced later in the year when they're getting ready to go dormant. So you don't see them when the plants are alive and growing. These are the corms actually regrow from every year. And two, because there is huge confusion with the species. There's Sagittaria lancifolia and all these, and as far as I can tell, not all of them produce corms, but there's also different localities that do. This is the southern, very broad leaf type. It looks like an arrow but rounded. And then there's a more northern type that's like an arrow but very pointy. And they both produce nice rhizomes. But there's also Sagittaria lancifolia, shaped like a lance, that I grow as well, but has never produced rhizomes and then corms like this. So, very confusing. The ones that look like elephant ears are the ones that grow the edible duck potatoes. Really tasty, super nutritious, super easy to grow, guys. Very pretty, too. They get beautiful little button kind of flowers. Again, anything that holds water will grow any of these plants. And these look really nice. Super tasty, super rare, even though they're native. Definitely one that you guys want to get a hold of. And then right here, everybody knows these, but nobody's had a good tasting one. The Chinese water chestnuts. Again, you fill anything with water, manure, compost, stick these in, and you get tons of food with no care. These also get the size of large golf balls, large eggs, and super tasty. If you've never had a fresh one, it is like nutty, sweet, kind of corn flavor. Just amazing. And if they do get some cold to them or you put them in the fridge, they get really bit of a nice, super sweetness to them. Really good tasting. And you just pop off the growing points. There's the little root end. You blanch them for a few minutes, and it's kind of like a shell. Peels right off with a spoon, or you take a grater and just grate it a little bit. Super tasty, guys. And those grow kind of just like reeds. They look just like grass, but again, very ornamental, just like the duck potatoes. Put them in ponds everywhere. Put them in buckets, anything that holds water. And then the last one here, guys. These are three nice, like I said, mud, bog, muck-loving plants. If you got a wet area, or if you have tubs or ponds that you want to use, fill every space. These are the Canna Edgeless. easily the biggest roots here. These are very small ones. These are about the size of eggs each. But the cannas, love the muck, love the mud. Super easy to grow. Very ornamental. Very, very productive. This is the Edgeless. There's also the indica. The indica, well, it is edible and does get edible roots and leaves and seeds and pods and all that. The indica does not grow a huge rhizome like this. It has a much smaller one, and it is still edible, but does not get as large as the Edgeless. And this here is the Edgeless, and these will get as big as footballs. As big as footballs. One plant at the end of the year can spread into a 40-50 pound clump if they're happy in a nice mucky area. Super productive. And again, they're produced later in the year. They'll send up little rhizomes and suckers all year to spread, but they don't form the big pieces like this. They're nice and tender and good for eating until later in the year when they're getting ready to naturally go dormant for winter or your dry season. But those are pretty beautiful red flowers, much larger than the indica. The indica only gets maybe 3-4 feet. The Edgeless here can get up to 12 plus feet. They've gotten pretty large for me, especially when they're happy, which, like I said, these are mucky, water, wet, rotting, loving plants. This is where you stick these guys. And if they've got that, they will grow very fast and give you tons of food. But they also do great in normal garden soil. Just mulch them really well, and they do perfect in that area too. But very delicious. And these, you peel them and you roast those up. Slight sweetness to them, but really good tasting. These have almost no fiber, where the indica is a little fibery. You get these nice tender nodes right there, and just delicious. Really good. You cube it up, you fry it, you boil it, put it in stews. You can eat the young leaves on this, the nice tender tips, the young seeds. You can eat those. That's another one on the internet. People say you can't eat the seeds, but you can. You just harvest them when they're nice and tender, and they're like spicy little peas. Really good. So these right here, 3 super easy to grow crops that can give you so much food with no care. You get anything that holds water, or if you have a wet spot on your property, anything like that, a pond, you throw some manure in there, you throw leaves in there, whatever will break down and rot. Nice mucky soil, or a nice bucket full of rotting manure, chicken manure, cow manure, rotten leaves, whatever you got. Throw it in there, and you got food, guys. That's simple. Water chestnuts, native duck potatoes, and your Canna Edgeless here. 3 plants, 3 survival crops, if you will, that can grow in areas where most things can't. Very anaerobic, very nasty areas. You can get food out of those. Just choose one of these guys, and they thrive. They absolutely thrive in those areas. The more mucky, the more swamp gas you got coming out when you step in it, the more productive these will get. And in order for productivity, you got your canna, literally pounds and pounds and pounds, top to bottom edible, very delicious, slightly sweet, can use just like a potato. Then you got your water chestnuts, next in productivity. You can only eat the corms on them. The reedy tops, which just look like green straws, are just like that, green straws. The goats like them. Or you can cut them and use them as bedding for the animals. Chestnut straw, water chestnut straw, the goats like eating it when I'm harvesting them. But these, again, super productive. Pounds and pounds of these out of a bucket just filled with that lovely swamp muck. And then next would be the little native duck potatoes. These are best grown just like the water chestnuts in buckets or tubs. I like using the cement mixing tubs because you see they do send out little runners that they end up growing from. And just like the water chestnuts, if you grow them in a tub or a bucket, you can just flip it over, or they grow around the edges and you just harvest them. But yeah, those are actually pretty nice and purple there. But there you go, guys. 3 great tasting root crops. 3 amazingly easy to grow root crops. And most people don't have any idea that they're edible or even what they're looking at. If you want it in that kind of situation, a survival situation. You got calories and ease of growth. Cannot be beat, guys. So, get growing. It's 2022, and who knows what's going to happen this year. So, grow food, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing in the dirty water here with me. But, delicious plants growing dirty things, right? Like dirt. Amazing. See you later, guys. Follow me, like and subscribe. Check me out on YouTube, everywhere, eBay. Thank you. Happy New Year.